Welcome to another edition of Cleaning Business TV. I'm David Luke, Vice President of Two Maids and a Mop, and with me as always is...
the guy with the goofy smile, Ron Holt, CEO and founder of Two Maids and a Mop. What crazy thing are we talking about today? Because I know you guys are ready. Can you imagine all the millions of people out there waiting Wednesday morning for
bated breath?
Man,
They're bated breath.
I
They're
can see
waiting
them
on
right
what we're
now.
going to say.
If you're out there, how about sending us a photo of you just sitting there waiting for that video to upload?
Like this?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Right.
All right, is there one out there doing that? Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay. So we actually have something really important to talk to you about, but it's something we've lived as a company, and it's something that if you're successful, you're also going to have to deal with as well. So David, talk to them about what our topic is today.
We're going to be talking about growth. We're going to be talking about how to grow effectively. Everybody initially is going to say, well, growth is just great. You know, whether it's rapid, slow, any kind of growth is good, but that is not always the case, as we're going to discover today. But we're going to really focus on how to grow effectively, how to grow your business really strategically and in the best way possible. Sometimes you can grow too fast and not have systems in place. Sometimes you can grow too slow and not have any money. So when do you take those steps? When do you open that second office? When do you hire more employees? When do you do more advertising? You name it. We'll walk you through some of those things about how to grow effectively and how to grow really systematically so that you don't kill your business.
Now, the good news is, if this is a problem, that means something good's happened.
That's right.
You want to talk about the good
I
problem?
love for me, I always try to create good problems. There's two different types of problems in business. There is and since you're wearing white and black, there's the good problem, there is the bad problem. And you always want to create for yourself good problems. Now, a good problem is you're growing too fast, you've got too much demand, you've got too many sales calls, you've got too many leads coming in. That's a good problem to have. Bad problems are not getting the phone to ring at all, not having any leads, not having any revenue, or you name it. We try to create in our industry.
Like me 10 years ago.
That's right. No. We try to create in our business good problems, stuff that you really want to try to figure out. Bad problems you want to try to avoid, but good problems, you actually have to think of ways to at least deal with good problems.
So I'm a big fan of stories. Well, I relate to them. They make sense to me, and they're real. So let me tell you a quick story about a guy named Dave Gold. David, do you have any idea where I'm going with this?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. All right, well, just follow me. Sit back and listen. You can be one of those other million folks listening.
That's right.
So Dave Gold, at one point, decided, you know what, I'm going to get outside of my routine, and I'm going to open a dollar store. Has that always been your dream?
Always.
Yeah.
Where did he open this dollar store?
1 block from Rodeo Drive.
That's never going to work.
And I know. Who opens a dollar store in LA, and who opens a dollar store 1 block from Rodeo Drive? Well, Dave Gold did. And this was more than 10 years ago. And Dave initially had some early problems, but after a while, this business today called 99 cents only stores. And if you're in California, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you probably even know the story. But 99 cents only stores actually had an amazing success early on. The location by itself was a little bit of the reason for the success because, again, who opens dollar stores 1 block from Rodeo Drive? So there were celebrities that visited there all the time, and this was before social media, so you didn't see a lot of pictures, but they did take pictures. People would take pictures with the celebrities, and they're buying $1 toothpaste. Everything in there was 99 cents. So it was an amazing success, and Dave made a ton of money, and he was actually pretty late in his career when he started this. So he was in his early 60s when this all started taking off for him. So after a couple of years of really fast growth in the LA market, some outside investors came in and said, "Hey, Dave, I got a great idea. You're doing so well here. This concept is obvious that it's working, and I think we can scale this beyond Los Angeles. So how about let's put together a bunch of money. Let's go to Wall Street and let's do the song and dance, and let's get a lot of capital up, and let's open these things up all over the country." And they did it, raised hundreds of millions of dollars over the next several months. And they started opening in Nevada and Utah, Texas, New Mexico, even on the East Coast, in Virginia and Maryland, Georgia, and Florida, all over the country for the most part. And they I'm not sure if they ever made it to 100 locations. And if you listen closely, I used a past tense verb there. because 99-cent stores, as quick as they grew, just as quickly floundered and actually closed. So there still are some locations out there, and the Rodeo Drive location may be doing very well still because it's always been very successful and almost cult-like for Dave. But unfortunately, most of those locations failed just mainly because the brand couldn't reproduce itself. What Dave had proven early on was that he could make a business successful and profitable and cult-like in LA. What he had not proven is if he could do that in Dallas, Texas, or Atlanta, Georgia, or Orlando, Florida. And once he opened in those locations almost overnight, he realized pretty quickly that there had been a big mistake. So growing too quickly can undermine your business, and it can create a business failure for you. So it's very important. And this is kind of ironic because if you've ever watched any of our videos, one thing that you're going to hear a lot from us, other than by Two Mates in My Franchise, is the fact that we are the fastest growing cleaning company in America. So how can the fastest growing cleaning company in America sit here with a straight face and say, don't grow too fast? Well, believe it or not, our growth as fast as it is today didn't happen overnight. Our story started 11 plus years ago in Pensacola, Florida. So our growth has been very calculated. And even today, we know what type of growth we should expect next year and the next year and the next year. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. So the same thing has to apply for your business. So David, now that I've talked a little bit about a true story and how a business went from being an overnight success to an overnight failure, let's talk in more real terms about how they can prepare their business for this stage.
Well, for us, we had to have systems in place. We had to have reproducible systems in place in order to open that next location. So for us, we take the systems that have worked in our locations and then basically transport those into another location. So with us, systems are extremely important to make sure that business is going to sail, and not to make sure that business is going to work, and not solely dependent on the person running it. It's the systems in place that are going to work for us. For us, we have standard things that we do, from pay for performance, from all the different systems that we use inside of our company. How to purchase insurance, how to pay your employees, how to, you name it, how to schedule your clients, how to contact your clients, how to send them emails, you name it. We have a system in place for all that.
We even have a system for how to close the business each day.
That's right. So for us, those systems are ultimately important in order to open that next one. And so you have to know that going in, but also you have to have a good understanding of the market you're going into. If you're going into a different segment or a different market you're going into, you need to have a good understanding that there's a customer base enough to support that. And we do a ton of research on that, especially when opening new franchises for Two Mates in a Month. We do a lot of groundwork to make sure that market is, I guess, prime is we do a lot of research before we ever do that to make sure that we are going to be successful in that market. We don't just blindly do it. We don't close our eyes and go, is what we're going to do in this market going to work the same? We go in there eyes open to know what we're going to get as soon as we hit the ground running there.
Except for the one we have planned in Nassau, Bahamas.
Well, that's going to work.
That one has other reasons for
Well, it's got a good location. It's got there's got to be homes there. So
I'm assuming
it's going to work there if we're positive. Have you seen that place? It's gorgeous.
So there is actually something else besides systems, and systems are extremely, I hate to use this word, but boring, but they're essential and something you've got to go through in order for your business to know if it can be reproduced. Mm-hmm. Second thing is you got to know where you're going. And again, this is something, all these things we've talked about here before, but they're still just as important. And they're used in all sorts of different ways. But in terms of how to manage your growth, you need to know where you want that growth to go in order to know how to manage it. So in our case, we have a clear idea of what we want to be. Our vision is to become the largest, fastest growing residential cleaning company in America. And if you dissect all of those words mean something. They're not just randomly put together. So the same thing has to be for you. You don't have to be us. In fact, if you just mimic that, that's not really a vision. That's just you doing the practice of doing it. You really need to believe in where you're going to be. You could dominate your local market. You could dominate your even neighborhood. There's all sorts of things you can do when it comes to your business, and I can't tell you what that vision is. It's your business, but you need to know where you're going in order to know if you're going in the right direction. and how if it's even ready, if you even want to have that growth. Not everybody wants to open that second location.
That is surprising too. That I've had numerous phone calls from some people that'll go, well, I just want this one location. I don't want to grow. And some people don't want to grow. They just want to stay there. So for us, I mean, this is definitely important. If you see growth in your future and you want to grow your business and you want to grow your sales and really increase your bottom line, then hopefully this has been a good talk for you and been something that just at least stirs up the imagination in you for, I guess, thinking outside the box and thinking where you can go as a business.
Right. And again, this is something, like David said earlier, you should be excited about. This is growth. That means you're doing something right. Nobody talks about a second location unless the first location is doing well. I guess that's something we probably should say out loud. You probably
I guess we're taking that for granted. Your first location did well.
So if you are considering growth, whether that means just adding a new crew or opening a second location or even adding an additional service offering, really think about, do you have the vision? Is that part of your overall vision? Do you have the systems in place to manage that growth? And if both of those answers are in place, then take the leap.
That's right. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Cleaning Business TV, and we hope to see you again next week.
All right. See you later. Thanks.